Some of the things like community backlash against the Xbox One, it was interesting to see the power of the public reaction on it, and there's a couple things that have played into the public consciousness on it. One of the things that was up early before even the major issues with the used games and always on and things like that was people being a little bit freaked out about Kinect being on all the time, and my game system is going to be watching me at all times, and who knows what that can do. And I had a lot of conversations with people that really just didn't think that was right, that feels incorrect. I am completely confident that that's a very temporary sort of vision about things, where if we go back 10 years, the idea that everyone would be carrying around a phone that has your GPS located position at all times would cause a lot of the tinfoil hat crowd to go absolutely crazy. The idea that, yeah, but the government's going to have backdoors into all of these, they can turn them on and track everything where you're going. And, well, yeah, that's pretty much the situation, but, we just kind of carry on. The situation with Kinect, there's already a ton of laptops where the webcam is kind of there, and you have issues with people remote hacking things and turning them on. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's not some absolutely terrifying hack that happens at some point that is a huge media issue with it. But we will just get used to it. A lot of these things are inevitable, like the people talking about Google Glass and the issues with people carrying around having cameras recording things all the time. I think that's going to be a net positive for society, having this sort of ground truth that's retrievable in many cases in a lot of things. But it does have sort of social transition issues that we're going to have to feel through, as those are adopted. But there's a tide of technology that I think is, in many cases, stronger than what even regulations can hold back in a global world, where you can have sort of local places where you'll have stronger privacy regulations, stronger preventions of, I guess in some European countries, you can't leave the devices on all the time, so Xbox certainly will not be required to operate in that mode. You can turn it off, but they have a vision for how it's going to interact with you, and we don't know yet. It's people have to try these things to find out if they're really going to be good. The thing that, of course, got Microsoft the most in the most hot water was the issues with always internet connected, being able to not having the used game transfers, that whole issue. And I do sort of fall onto the side of, I think the witch hunt was a little bit unjustified there. There are legitimate grievances that people can raise about how they would choose to have their game systems managed. I personally am extremely fond of having all of my digital purchases in a curated garden, all of my iTunes, all of my Amazon stuff, all of my Steam things. And it's a positive thing. I mean, yeah, you can have better and worse ways of doing that, but we are very quickly going to be past the age of having a game that you hold in your hands on optical media. I think that was another thing that was open for debate this generation was, were we going to have optical media at all, or was it going to be all digital distribution? It probably won't be many years before we wind up with SKUs that just have the optical drives deleted, and everybody will just be getting it through the net. I think that's, again, a clear case of the future is obvious right there, and it will be good for us in general. I go over this a lot with books, where I'm sort of a bibliophile where I love books. I have an Encyclopedia Britannica set that I hardly ever open, and all these things where we have a fondness for our physical, the fetishes of the objects that we've bought, but really it is just so much better having everything in the cloud and being able to get at it like that.